Good morning. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Great to see everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Hello.
Let's go ahead and get our cameras on. All right. I just gonna put the warm-up question as we wait for the rest of your colleagues to arrive in the chat box. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? What do you think?
I know.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm supposed to write in the chat box. Okay.
You can say it too if you want. That's okay.
Oh, I don't know. I think I would like live in Saudi Arabia
Okay.
or India.
Okay,
Two
cool.
countries I've never been, and
Yeah.
nor I'm not from there either.
What interests you about those countries?
For Saudi Arabia, I hate the government, but like there's a lot of like religious places that I would love to visit, and like very holy places to my religion.
Sure.
And then for India, I just love the culture.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like there's this one state in India, not the other states, they're not as good. But there's this one elite state that I really want to visit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which state is that?
The state of Punjab.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I've been to. I went to India when I was in college for 2 weeks, but we were in Calcutta, and yeah,
Calcutta. Oh,
it's
that's in the south.
that's a, yeah,
Like they have nice culture too, but like I don't know why I'm like so into Punjabi culture, and I'm not even Punjabi.
just
Yeah.
it's okay. You're allowed to be into cultures that aren't your own. That's the
Half my
beautiful thing
family
about the
is from
world.
Calcutta.
Where's your family from, Rahul?
Half my family's from Calcutta.
Oh, cool. There you go. What a cool connection.
I'm
So
not
we
good
have.
either.
Okay, so Tiana says Canada. Jesus says the UK. I'm really interested because more than one person has said England or the UK, and David has said it. All right, so Andre, what is it about England or the UK that's so interesting? Because that's a really surprising answer.
Okay, so number one, which is probably the best thing about it, is it's not really sunny and it's not hot. I kind of hate the heat.
Yeah,
I know the whole thing about there's like 4 seasons going one day is a thing in England. It
right.
rains like about 70% of the time, but it's fine. I like the transit system, and I actually like a lot of the museums that's over there. Because when I went to visit there a couple of years back, I stopped by a lot of the landmarks like Trafalgar Square and Tower of London was kind of fun. They also have like a horror amusement park.
Okay.
A lot of things that happen in England.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, England's a really interesting country because it's very similar to America. I think the only other country probably more like America is Canada. But yeah, they're very similar culturally. I used to work for an English company, so before coming to Europe, so a lot of my colleagues were from England. I had never been there though. I spent a lot of time in Europe, but never made it to England. So it looks like Japan. If it's Texas, I'll go to the countryside. A lack of Trump, scenery, Havana or Japan. Wow, Chelsea. Okay, those are two Chelsea B. Those are two very different places. What interests you about Havana or Japan?
Havana, because I've never been there personally, but like my family's from there,
Mm-hmm.
and I just want to see it. Because I used to tell my grandma all the time that I'm like, oh, one day we're gonna make it back over there, and you're gonna show me where you grew up and everything.
Cool.
And Japan, just because I just like Japanese culture, anime, and everything, so I was like, I'd like to go visit over there.
Yeah, that would be awesome for sure. Yeah, Havana would be really interesting to visit as well. When they opened up the borders a couple of years back, I really wanted to try to go because I wanted to see what it would look like before, Sandals Resorts and all those places came and took over. But of course, I never made it. So yeah, eating sushi all day, that sounds really nice. Yeah. And my answer, man, that's tough. So for me, when I don't know if I told you guys this, but my wife is half German. Her father's German, her mom's American. So before kids, we would go to Germany for about 2 weeks every May, which we really enjoyed. And I don't speak German, so it was always kind of awkward for me because the village that my wife's family was from, nobody spoke English really. So like I'd go and like have like a meal with like her family, and I'd just eat and enjoy it and just sit there awkwardly. And then they would say, "Okay, Eric, you should go go do your own thing." So I would just like sit in the back patio. It's like a beautiful countryside, and I would like look at my phone or read a book or just relax, and I enjoyed that. So yeah, I like Europe as well. We sometimes think about what it would be like to live over there, but yeah, I think there's a lot of places in the world that are awesome, but none are quite as good as New York. That's just the reality. You go to other places in the world and like, New York is kind of the best place in the world to live. That's my humble opinion. You can disagree, that's fine, but I like living here. My Japanese name is Iriku. Iriku? That's good to know. Now I know my Japanese name as well. That's a fact. Thanks, Usman. There's no place like this city. All right. Amadul, how are you, my friend?
Good morning. I'm doing good.
Good. Thank you so much for being our assistant instructor today. Are you ready for the heavy weight of responsibility you will bear for the next hour and 15 minutes? Tell us a little about yourself. Where are you from? Why you joined Europe, and something interesting.
Okay. My name is Amadul. I'm from Bangladesh.
Cool.
I'm currently living in the Bronx.
Okay.
And I joined Europe to learn new skills and professionalism.
Mm-hmm.
And something interesting about me is that I like watching basketball, and I'll be watching the finals tonight.
Awesome. Very cool. Do you have a team that you enjoy, Amadul?
Team? You said teammate or team?
What's your favorite team in the NBA?
My favorite team is the Pistons, Detroit.
Cool.
But I'll be rooting for the Heat.
Okay, rooting for the Heat. Awesome. And thank you so much, Amadul, for being part of today's workshop and being the assistant instructor. So it looks like we're having a conversation in the chat box about why New York is great. We can talk about that after class if you guys want. But yeah, I've been to many places and I always want to come back to New York. All right, so last night's deliverable was to submit your post on the discussion board about Steve Jobs' presentation about the iPhone 1. So iPhone 1 came out in, I think, 2007, a very long time ago. I could not afford one because I didn't have iPhone money 13 years ago. But the presentation that he gives is really powerful and compelling. A lot of you already submitted your answers, but let's go ahead and chat about it just for a few minutes. Raise your hand on the right side where it says your name. Hit the hand up button if you want to share some feedback about the presentation that Steve Jobs gave and what made it so interesting and compelling. Ashley Buffon.
Good morning, everyone. I thought the presentation was pretty genius. I never really knew much about Steve Jobs, which is crazy. But after watching it, I just thought he was just like a genius because he was just answering questions that the audience didn't even ask, and just showing like the phones that were the norm at the time, and showing how his products were the future, and just like how he did it was just like the grace and everything. It was just really awesome, and I think he's a genius.
Awesome. Thank you, Ashley. Next hand I saw was David Perez.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So what stood out to me in the video was there was 3 things that he mentioned, but he mentioned them like continuously to get the audience engaged. Mm-hmm. And once he mentioned like those three features were all in one phone, the audience like quickly they were surprised. And yeah, it was definitely like eye-popping. And compared to how iPhones were introduced, it was only one person that introduced it, which is Steve Jobs. Now it's like multiple people that have to mention like the products, what software the iPhone has, what new features.
Yep. Yeah, very good. Yeah, he did what it was like the iPod, a phone, and the internet. And like he kept repeating that over and over again until people were like, their light bulb went off. Like, oh, wait, this is just one device. So it was like very smart how he did it, for sure. Thanks, David. Ricardo?
To me, what stood out was just his confidence in his product. Like, he did not doubt at all that he was making one of the best products in the market. Yeah. He's like, oh, this is better than this phone. He did not fear to call out the competition, be like, oh, this is why these phones aren't the best, and like, this is what we're doing to change that. and things like that. And just his body language, he never like, slashed or anything. He was confident with his body language to me. And it's very different from what we see now because I'm always watching the keynotes for
Right.
Apple,
Yeah.
but he definitely makes a huge difference.
Yeah, definitely. He had a very strong presence, right? For sure. Yeah, thank you, Ricardo. Shantae?
Hi, good morning, Eric. For me, what stood out about the video is like how he's just really passionate about what he makes. Like even now, like every year is always like a new Apple product or everything. It's just like the love he has for making new electronics and bettering his product.
Yeah, absolutely. Clearly was very passionate about it. Didn't go up there and like, whatever, who cares? It's not a big deal. Definitely was passionate about it. Mahmood?
Yeah, one thing I noticed is he was sort of like a storyteller in which he was like telling the story of this is how it is now, and then he sort of built up to the actual reveal. So sort of like watching a movie where, towards the end you have the big reveal. That was sort of how he did it. So it was very much storytelling as far as presentation went.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really interesting when you give a presentation, which we're talking about today, storytelling is so powerful. If you think about like a presentation you've heard at one point in your life, the thing you probably remember the most is the story that went along with it as opposed to the facts. There was actually a really interesting study that came out of Harvard a few years back by a professor, Jen Acker, if you want to look her up, 2 A's, K-E-R. And she was giving a business class, an MBA class, and she had her students do like a Shark Tank pitch for a product that they like invented. And every student went up there and they showed graphs and they showed charts and they showed projections and they showed all these details, like their Shark Tank pitch, 5 minutes long. And then one student went up there and told a story about how the product would solve a very real problem in their life. And at the very end, all the students had to write down who they would invest in if this was a real Shark Tank scenario. And every single student said, I would invest in the person that told me the story. It's pretty remarkable, isn't it? That wasn't the data and the facts and the charts and the graphs. It was, I'm going to tell a compelling story. And it's going to make you realize, oh, this is something I really believe in. So it just goes to show how much the human mind connects the story. Excellent point, Mahmood. Andre?
I think what I like about it is, since this video was out years ago, it was like a whole monumental mark for Jobs releasing something that's very innovative in today's society, considering that there was like different like devices at that time. If you wanted to go on the internet, you had the laptop. If you wanted to listen to music, you had the iPod. But now it's like putting everything together, and the audience reaction is forever priceless. Because me and my friend have a joke about every time he releases a phone, it always looks like somebody fainted on stage and people gasp for their breath.
Yeah, true. Good point. He definitely had a good way of reading the audience. Excellent, Andre. Majida?
I wanted to say like how he actually, the thing is like not only was he like very confident in what he was presenting, but rather he empathized with his target market. In the sense when he mentioned the stylist, he knew that not only just him, but like everybody else, like whoever he's selling this product to, they're going to end up losing that pen, or it's like it's going to become a headache instead of keeping it. And also like the keyboard is just useless to you. Like if you want to try doing anything else with it, it doesn't have really any other purpose except for typing. So like he kind of thought all of that and made them realize that I realize like I'm trying to give something very innovative with such confidence as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Majid. That's a great point. That's actually a very smart marketing technique as well. I don't know how many of you guys watch TV and see commercials, or you just watch all your shows on streaming, but they used to, like back in the day, I remember like commercials for like sprays to kill like cockroaches and stuff. It would always show like little cartoons of the cockroaches like laughing and playing and like terrorizing your home. And then like the spray would come in and it would like get them all out and they'd all be scared. And like it's kind of cheesy and it's kind of funny and you remember it because they had like a very clear like enemy, right? Like this is your enemy, the cockroaches that are in your bathroom, but our product's going to get rid of them and get them out of your life forever. you wanted to buy that product. So like, yes, that cockroach is my enemy. I hate having cockroaches. And what Majida just says, a perfect point. Like that stylus that you're going to lose one day, you know, on the train or whatever, that's your enemy. That whole half of your phone that only has buttons that you can't, you know, utilize, that's your enemy. Like you want that out of your life. And Steve Jobs had and his team as well. It wasn't a one man job, but they had the vision to say, okay, how can we really find the pain points of our consumer and address them head on, so that people realize, oh, you're right, I do hate that stylist. I do hate that half my phone is basically useless. Like, how often do I press the X button? And that's taking up precious real estate on my phone. So it's really powerful. Yeah, great point. Pablo?
What stood out to me was that he never got to see how successful his company was going to be. You know, he passed away too soon. So I feel like if he was still alive, Apple would be so far ahead of any other phone company or any company in general.
Yeah.
I feel like his only competition would be Elon Musk, because he's also someone who's so far into the future than any other company. I just feel like, you know, he never got to see the full potential that his company could have done.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really good point, isn't it? That he did have an untimely death, and that you're right. If he was still alive today, maybe Apple would be a very different company. I mean, we can talk about this later. We won't take up the whole entire class time, but some people have even said, like, since his passing, like, what innovations Apple really had. And some small things here and there, but nothing like groundbreaking. The only thing that I think they've made since his passing were the AirPods. I think the AirPods are pretty cool. I like those. But yeah, beyond that, like the Apple Watch, it's fine, but it's not like, you know, groundbreaking like the iPhone was. David Torres, and then Manny. Then we're gonna go to the next section.
Completely forgot what I was gonna say.
It's okay. It's all right. We're just so excited talking about iPhone 1, and Manny.
Well, they already said it. Like, what stood out to me was the fact that he mentioned the four companies 3 times, which was Nokia, Moto, BlackBerry. I mean, like, they were good phones, yes, and the fact that he said that those phones they had keyboards that were made of plastic. Mm-hmm. Unlike the iPhone that was gonna come out, you don't need the stylus. You can use your thumbs, your fingers. That's what you needed. Yeah, and that really stood out to me.
That's a good point, man. He said something to the effect of, like, you already have stylists. They're attached to your body. They're right here, you know. And it was so smart. Yeah, it's a powerful presentation, and a lot of you have shared with me that like PowerPoint is you're pretty good at it. You already know how to do most of the functions. So as we spent like 7 or 8 days on Outlook, we're going to spend about the same amount of time on Excel. PowerPoint gets all but, ready for it, 1 day, and that's today. So today we're going to talk about PowerPoint for literally the next hour. Most of you already have a strong handle. If you don't, I have some resources in Schoology. You can go to this unit, hit resources, and there's videos and articles you can watch if you're like, I'm not really sure what to do. And of course, I always have office hours. Drop by, we can chat more. But that's just what we're going to be doing today. So do me a favor, in the chat box, why is the ability to give a compelling presentation such a pivotal part of your career and your career growth? Like, why is the ability to stand in front of people, give a presentation, talk in public, like, why is that such an important part of your career and your career growth? What do you think? Or is it not? Jesus allows for you to send your message. Well, why can't you send your message on a mass email? Do you want to mute yourself?
Yeah, I would say that it's much better actually to present in person, simply just because one, you build a strong connection, and then overall you just, like, you know, it's always better actually to present in person rather than sending an email. Yep. You can't really see the expressions or anything else.
Totally.
So that's one of the reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Jesus. Zena, it allows you to stand out and gives you a chance to reach millions of people. Why is that important in your career, Zena?
Because it's because it's important that I know with me that you just want to make the best impressions to everyone. So if you don't really give yourself a chance to stand out to everyone, then no one will really know that you have an important message to give everyone, and just have everyone on the same page.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Communicating that information. I mean, we had an all staff actually yesterday at 4 p.m. where our CEO, Gerald Chertavian, shared like the 5-year vision for Year Up. And it was very compelling. It was really well done. It was excellent. And yeah, if he just said like, here's a memo, just read this. And so we're doing for the next 5 years, that would be pretty anticlimactic. And to be honest, most people probably wouldn't even read it because we're all busy professionals. So you're having that presentation is so important, you know, with the visual, the ability to articulate your ideas. Ashley Buffon, why is that important? Having visuals and the ability to articulate, like, why is that so critical?
You know, I think it comes together. Like, it just makes the whole thing whole, if that makes sense. I'm not really good at explaining things or articulating myself. So I hope to be, but I do know the power of it. Just like Steve Jobs did in his great presentation, it just makes the whole idea easier to understand and accept and hold.
Yeah, absolutely. Great answer, Ashley. So do me a favor, everybody. On the right side of the screen where your name is, give me a green check if you are confident and comfortable speaking in front of groups, or a red X saying, not really my thing. I'd rather not do that. So green check if you're like, I feel great about it. Not a problem at all. I'll hop up there and talk. Red X if you're like, I prefer doing more behind the scenes stuff. Okay, we got a nice little mix there. Okay. Wow, Hannah Holmes, I'm very surprised by that because you're such an articulate person. Like, you don't like speaking in front of people? Why not, Hannah? You're on mute, Hannah.
Yeah, I'm actually like really a quiet person. I like to do things behind scenes. You guys kind of force it out of me.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. We force it out of a lot of people in love because the facts are when you go to internship in your career, you know, being shy, of course, that's our personalities, is how we're wired, and that's totally fine. But really to progress in your career, you have to put yourself out there from time to time. So thank you for sharing that. And Abdul, also the assistant instructor today, I'm very surprised by that. You are naturally more behind the scenes as well, you would think?
Yes, like you said, like I'm a bit of shy, like shy person. So I'm not that comfortable, you know, speaking in large groups.
Yeah, totally understand. Thank you so much for sharing. Interesting question. Jalisa and Samaje says, what if you're in between or I need a practice run? And here's the thing I'll share with you. I certainly think that I'm a person who's in between. I think a lot of us are, because I like having time where I can like sit down, where I call it head down work, which is like when I'm looking down, like doing things. Like I need that time in my life every single day. I'm actually naturally very introverted, but I also like speak for a living, teaching and doing classes and facilitation. But one of the things that I know about myself is that if I'm like going to teach 3 classes in a day, the end of that day, like I'm going to be very, very tired. Yeah, I'm going to be like exhausted because it's going to take a lot out of me. Whereas some people, they'll teach 3 classes and they'll be like, yeah, let's go, you know, go work out. I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to go home and chill because I don't feel so good. But they get energy from those large crowds, whereas some people, they get drained by the large crowds. It's just, we're all wired different ways. But being able to speak, being able to articulate your views, being able to have that strong presence, it will really serve you well. One of the questions I want to ask in the chat box, did Steve Jobs have a lot of text on his PowerPoint or a little bit of text on his PowerPoint? What did you guys notice when you were looking at his presentation? Yep, almost none, a little, enough. Rahul says no text, a little, very little. A lot of visuals, yes, Jaleesa says. All right, Jaleesa, why do you think he was utilizing visuals over text? Like, why do you think that was so important in his presentation?
That's actually one of the things I noted because being a visual learner, I guess it's just easier to understand, especially because it is a physical product.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of having to explain it in words, it's better if because he was already speaking it. So
yeah,
he could just explain himself in words and then have the slides just be the visual representation of the actual physical product that he created.
Excellent, Jaleesa. Thank you so much. And one thing I would piggyback off of is if he had a bunch of words on the screen, that would redirect the eyes of the people in the audience to the screen, and it would start reading, and they would start ignoring what he was saying, right? It's not a book, it's not a memo, it's not an email, it's a presentation. So the visuals are supposed to complement what he's already communicating. So when you guys do your midterm, keep that in mind. Like your slides should not be 50, 100, 200 words. They should be complementing what you're already going to be saying. Yeah, and Maj had a great point. It was a brand new product. Nobody knew what it looked like. He had to have a visual to show. So there's basically 3 big themes I want to hit today with PowerPoint. I'm not going to demo them because we all have different views of PowerPoint. I find that can get confusing, but we will have a time to practice towards the end of class during a breakout. The very first thing I want to talk about is a theme. Every well-developed PowerPoint or presentation has a theme. Anybody in the chat box know what a theme is? If I say I had a nice theme, what does that mean? The moral of the story, the layout, certain topic, subject. Yeah, Majida, Hannah, Jalisa, I mean, you're all hitting it really well. Essentially, the theme of a presentation should be that the colors, the fonts, the graphics, they all kind of match, right? So like, let me show you guys an example of what I mean. So let me share a poor example, because I saw a lot of you like the poor example of the business letter yesterday with my cousin Mose. All right. Ashley Buffon, can you see that? Okay, great, thank you. So like, imagine if I had a presentation like this, right? And the first thing is it's black background, white letters, kind of that bold font. Then the next one was blue background, black font, different one. Next thing was this. It's the same as the previous one. Now this one's gray. You know, like, so these are like all different, you know, colors, and this is the Steve Jobs thing. Like in the chat box, like what's wrong with doing that? Like what's wrong with having, yeah, exactly. Luis already brought it up. Doesn't flow together. It doesn't really make sense. It's like, wait, it was this color, now it's that color. One of the nice things about PowerPoint, if you're going to be utilizing PowerPoint for your presentation, is you can actually go to where it says File, New, and there's actually online templates and themes you can choose. I just wanted to end. Maja says, yeah, exactly. Distractingly inconsistent. Like you've already been pulled away from what I'm saying, because you're like, why is this guys have different colors and different backgrounds and different fonts? It doesn't even make sense. So when you're creating yours, you want to have a consistent theme. You want to utilize a theme that works. So let me just show you really quick what that looks like. Can you see that, Ashley Buffon? Okay, great. So like when you go to, you know, new online themes and templates, you can see here there's already, you know, examples for it. Let's suppose we use the word minimalist for Steve Jobs' presentation. Spelling it wrong, minimalist. So like here's an example, like this one looks kind of cool. So I click on that, it's designing it for me. And now look at this. For those of you who are using PowerPoint, like it's already done for me. This is kind of nice, isn't it? The colors, the graphics, I can swap out things. There's a chart, there's a table.
Eric?
Yeah, Ricardo.
We see the old PowerPoint.
Oh, sorry.
We see the boring PowerPoint, not the interesting one.
Is that better, Emmanuel?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So there you guys can see, like I use the, I went to File, New, I chose a minimalist theme, and you can see it already gave me what I need. So the theme's already done for you. So don't give yourself like more work than you need to. Just go ahead and choose a theme they already have. For those who don't have that functionality, you can go ahead and go to Canva, same sort of deal there. They already have themes written out for you, so you don't have to like try to build it from scratch, because that's just going to require more work. It's going to require more effort, and why reinvent the wheel? The next thing is transitions. Does anybody know what transitions are in PowerPoint? You can put it in the chat box. What is a transition? Yep, exactly. the movement to the next slide, animations and transitions are a little bit different, but we'll explain the difference between those two. So essentially, like you could, if you wanted to be creative, you could go into a slideshow and you can add different different transitions and animations. So let's go ahead and I'll put the practice for those of you who are using PowerPoint. You can just take a look. For those of you that don't, you can also figure this out with another platform, whatever you decide to use. All right, Amadul, do you see my ugly PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for those of you who are very upset by this, but I'm going to do a transition. I'm going to go up here to transition, and let's suppose I want flip. So what I did, it went from this here to a flip. Suppose I'm like, okay, that one's okay. How about cube? And that one's a little bit better. Zoom, you know, whatever you want. You also can have a sound. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that or not. I personally don't like sounds. I don't really mess with those. The other thing you can also do is you want it to go on a mouse click or after a certain amount of seconds. Typically what you'll do as someone presenting is you'll have a mobile clicker in your hand so you can click through your own slides. However, if you really, really, really have your presentation dialed in and like you know this slide is going to be 45 seconds, you can actually apply 45 seconds up here and it'll automatically transition for you. If you do that, you have a lot of courage and you really have your presentation locked in. Most people are not great at that. But as you can see here, these are different animations you can do. I'm sorry, transitions. Animations are something different. Transitions you can do if you want to make it a little bit more interesting. If not, the typical, you know, I'll show you right here. It just goes from like this to that. It's just like a real quick thing. When you have the animation, you see how that's different than the previous one. So that's how that works. Are there any questions on animations and the purpose behind them and what they do? Are pretty clear?
Just a quick question.
Yeah, Ricardo.
For transitions, would you recommend having the same one for each slide or different one to keep it more like, you know, professional, not all over the place?
What do you guys think for Ricardo's question? Put in the chat box. Same one for each slide or switch it up? Ashley Ross is same one. Looks like everyone's saying the same. I think it depends on the presentation. I think that the same is a safe bet. You certainly don't want to do anything that's going to be distracting to the eye. But if you're just giving a very short, let's just say a 5 to 6 slide presentation, yeah, you can switch it up a little bit if you want to do that. That's completely up to you. But I wouldn't do anything that was like weird looking. Like sometimes there's one where it's like it goes from like being like upside down, like it looks like it's like, you know, getting flushed down a toilet and then goes away. Like that's kind of weird. Like I would not do that one. Like just anything that's going to be visually appealing. Like it's, oh, that's an interesting one. But yeah, I think if when in doubt, do the same. If you have some creativity, you can switch it up. But that's completely up to your discretion as the person designing. So we talked about themes, making sure that everything stays on theme. And then the very last one we're going to do is animation. So let me just go ahead and share my screen one more time. Excuse me, my yawn. I had my 11-month-old was not feeling very well and slept in the bed with me and my wife and was kicking me in the face at 3 o'clock this morning. So I'm a little bit tired today. I apologize. Amadul, can you see that?
I can see it.
Okay, great. So here's a photo of Steve Jobs showing his competition. Here is a text that is very hard to read that I'm going to change because that's bothering me. Let's make it white and expand it a little bit. All right, it's a little bit better. Actually, just something like that background. It's just annoying me. All right. Anyways, so the next thing is not transition, but animation. So for those who are uncertain, how do you insert a photo? You go to insert up here in the top left, pictures, and then pick whatever picture you want. I picked this picture of Steve Jobs. So if I didn't do anything for his animation, which I don't think I have anything on right now, let me double check. So there, that's just the transition slide. So if I wanted to make this a little bit more interesting, what I could do is I could do this, split. I could do a fly in. I could do a peer. I could do this one I probably wouldn't do, but that's kind of fun. Bounce, swivel, looks like a yo-yo. I mean, there's just so many different things you can do. They're all up here. And the other thing that's interesting as well is you can do it on click, with previous, after previous. So what that means is like the first transition will be the slide appearing. And the next transition, as you can see the number 1 right here, that'd be the graphic. And then insert the photo. You can actually animate this as well if you want. So I can do like wipe that up. So now what I did, I'm gonna do it after previous, and now my slide looks like this. So that's something you can do as well if you kind of want to spice things up. And that's an example of an animation. Hope the baby is better. Thank you, Ricardo. I hope so too. Any questions on animations and how they work? What would be the purpose of doing those in your presentation? In the chat box, what do you think? Why would you include animations? Yeah, exactly. Majida, Ashley Ross, you hit it nail on the head. Have something stand out, spice it up, make it more interesting, make it more visually appealing, grab the audience attention, especially for something that's really important. Remember Steve Jobs had the animation in his presentation where it showed the internet, the iPod and the phone, and it started circling around together. And that's when people started to realize, oh, now this makes sense. They're all going to be on one product. It's like a garnish. Yeah, thank you. Just a little, sprinkle of that. What about custom text? David, what do you mean? Like cool text? I haven't really. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, that was this website that I used to use in high school.
Okay.
It was like cooltext.com, I believe, and it has like these different types of effects for text that you can use. So I had like text that light up or like fire text. It's a whole bunch. I know it probably wouldn't seem professional, but
right.
It was like it makes it stand out a bit.
Yeah, totally. There's actually functions that you can utilize within PowerPoint to make your text stand out as well. Does anybody know how to do that? How to like make your text, different shapes and different colors and different backgrounds and put shadows? Pablo knows how to do that. All right, I've been talking a lot. My throat's starting to hurt. Pablo, can you share your screen? It shows how you would make a text stand out as opposed to the generic, boring text. If you have, do you have PowerPoint open? Are you ready to go?
Give me a second. Let me open it right now.
All right, cool. While we wait for Pablo, anybody know a good, clean joke that's like a minute long? Ashley Ross? All right, Ashley Ross, let's hear your good, clean, professional, work-appropriate joke, 1 minute long.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
It's kind of corny, but it always makes me laugh. So, what do you call an alligator in a vest?
An alligator in a vest?
Yeah.
No idea.
An investigator.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. That is good. We're all laughing. An investigator. All right. Pablo, are you good? Or do you want one more joke?
One more joke.
All right. Anybody else have a good, clean joke? Like that's a hard act to follow. No, that's just no one can back up Ashley Ross. Man. All right, Pablo's got the screen up. Excellent, Pablo. Thank you so much. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I know that you're a qualified, highly capable person, and you can handle the pressure. So while we're looking at your screen, we see that you have your background, you have your text. So you're writing "Hi guys." And how would you really make that text pop? Because that looks kind of boring.
I'm trying to remember. So
It's
I think you go to design or shape format. Sorry, this.
It's okay.
In the way.
Anybody wanna unmute themselves and help
Right
out your
here.
colleague? Oh, there we go. You got it. Shape format. Yep.
You can make it glow.
Whoa.
Let me just make it a little bigger so you guys can see.
Yeah. So he's expanding it to now it glows. Wow, that looks trippy. Other things you can do there under shape format. Yep. Very good. And if you go to shape fill, oh, there you go. You just do that. Can you do that again at transition? How you made the.
I went to 3D rotation and then I just made it right here.
Yep. Yep. So now you made it flat. So what I would really encourage you to do if you're unfamiliar with this function is just go in and play with it. The best way to learn PowerPoint and all of the Word, all the Microsoft Office is just go around and play with it, but especially PowerPoint. There's so many things you can do. It's pretty incredible. So, but yeah, if you want to spice it up, if you want a new kind of font, if you don't want the boring, whatever they give you, yeah, go to shape format, and there's all sorts of things you can do there. All right, can we go ahead and give Pablo a hand clap? All right, so we got class till 11:45. Let's do this. Let's take a 5-minute break. Let's come back at 11:13, and then we'll do our breakout scenario and put these things to the test. All right, welcome back. Okay. Some of you have been emailing me and chatting me about the midterm. We are going to talk about the midterm in more detail at the end of class today, for those of you who have questions about it and all that good stuff. All right, let me make sure the breakout rooms all look good and kosher. So I'm going to put the assignment inside of the chat box. You have 20 minutes to complete this. Some of you will be presenting. You'll be in groups very small, 3 to 4 people. And what I want you to do with your team, utilizing what we just spoke about, number 1, theme. So and every slide should not be a different color. It should all be consistent. The fonts, everything should look the same. You want to share some animations and some transitions as well on what motivates you, okay? One thing I want to say is for a lot of you, when you did the ERG flyer, you use a lot of graphics that were just not very well done. They were pixely. They didn't look awesome. The reality of it is, guys, is if you're in the workforce and you have a graphic on your screen that looks really crappy, it's going to really diminish your credibility with your people listening. Like if you guys know, Steve Jobs did not have pictures that looked pixely and messed up. He had very clean, crisp photos. So I just put a website that I utilize for a lot of presentations that I give, pexels.com. And you can go ahead and utilize that. So if you say I'm motivated by money, that's fine. Just search money in there and you'll probably find 100+ photos of money that you can utilize in your presentation. So 20 minutes, each participant shares what motivates them, okay? Don't have to all pick one. You share your own individual. The thing I'm looking for is that there's a consistent theme, okay? Fonts, colors, everything's the same. Utilize animations, utilize transitions. All right, those are the 3 things we hit on today. You got 20 minutes, we'll come back at, well, let's say 15 minutes, we'll come back at 11:30 to provide adequate time to hear some report outs and to talk about the midterm for a little bit as well. Any questions on this assignment?
So is it just one person making the entire PowerPoint?
So what I would encourage you to do is a great question, Luis, is I would encourage you to do this. Get with your team, pick a theme that you like or enjoy. Like I like this background, I like this font. Send that theme to your colleagues via email, and then each person create their slide, and then send it back to one person who will then go ahead and put them all together into one presentation. Yeah, it's a really good question. Yeah. So go in, say, I like this theme, I like this. Okay, send it to us, make your individual slide. That shouldn't take longer than 3 or 4 minutes, and go back and then make the presentation. And I'm gonna call on 2 or 3 of you when we get back to report on what motivates you. Good question. Anything else, guys? Okay, let's go ahead and make that let's make the rooms a little bit smaller. A little bit, yeah. Let's do 3 per room. That way we have adequate time. So see you at 11:30.
Hello, Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you repeat what you said? Because my connection was acting up the whole time. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, sure, Eric. Let's how we do this. Go into your room and speak with your colleagues. And if you need more help, just let me know and I can come join you.
Okay.
Thanks. Moses, Hannah, you guys there? Oh, Moses, you able to get into your room?
there was somebody's gonna come later on, but hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I was in the room too. I was like waiting, and I was the only one in there.
Right. I'm like, wait, let me go back. Maybe it was a mistake. I think he did it by accident. But basically, yeah, with your team, get into your groups and each create one slide sharing a theme on what motivates you. After sharing, each will have 1 minute to share their slide. Okay, so do you want to make the presentation or you want me to do it?
I think because I think you should do it because my computer's updating right now.
Okay, no, it's fine. I'll share my screen.
Yeah, that's right. Because I'm on my phone.
Okay. Hold on. I'll do it.
Okay, so Ashley, Shantae, and Avlyn, you guys are not in a room.
No, because we're in breakout rooms by ourselves. I was the only person in my breakout room.
That's so weird. Okay, hold on a second. Let me do this. So Ashley, Gavin, move to. So you should be with Amadul and Amna. Let's try that. So move you to breakout room. I'm so confused. So it looks like you're in it right now. Let's hold on.
I'll join breakout room 9.
Oh, you're able to do it, Avlyn?
Yeah, I see. I just popped up.
Okay. Do you see Ashley, Gavin, or not yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, give me a second. All right, do you see going to breakout room 11?
No.
Well, why don't we just do this? Make life easy. Why don't the three we just be a group?
Okay.
And then that's easy enough, right?
Okay.
Yep.
All right, see you guys. I gotta go ask for help from breakout room 6. 1 second.
Okay, so
what?
Okay, you're sharing your screen. I was gonna share my screen. Okay, so you can do slide 1 can be you, and then slide 2 can be me, and then slide 3 can be Shantae.
Okay. So what motivates you guys?
Oh, I was muted. I put my family just because like that's my biggest motivator, and then
Yeah, so you should just put family and then put like
a picture.
Picture.
Okay.
Or maybe like 1 or 2 bullet points, nothing excessive. You know, like he was saying, like keep it to a minimum, and then you'll just be talking out.
Well, I can work on this after. What about you guys?
I'm still trying to think. Because I can't say something and not be able to elaborate off of it. So I'm thinking of something that I'll be able to elaborate off of.
For me, I put money.
Okay.
As it should be, girl.
No, because it's like for money, it's like whether you have a job or whatnot, whatever it is, like if you're doing the work and everything, you expect to be rewarded for all the hard work that you did.
Yeah.
I like the background you did, Ashley.
This one, right? It looked cool. I saw it and I was like, whoa.
Really nice.
I can't see your name. How do you spell it?
CH. Oh, you got it right. Just put EI.
Okay. EI. Okay. Do you guys have like 2 bullet points that you want to add for?
Yeah, I was gonna say, with money, it's like a reward, and then how you say towards the end, it's a good. I'm sorry, I'm not good at articulation. It's like a good reward down the end because money is what keeps you motivating to, or like keeps you somewhere that you want to stay in. Like for example, like say if you're at a job that you don't like but it pays well, it's like even though you hate it, you know you're being paid well. That's the like reason why you're still there.
Is that good? Or,
Yes.
Okay. And then should I just put like financially stable?
Yeah.
Okay. Avlyn, do you have your inspiration or no? You get a picture of family. Oops.
Did you get kicked out, Rahul? You're on mute. Yeah, I can't hear you, Rahul.
Wait, what's happening? Raul is in this group? Oh, okay.
No, he got kicked out of the room, I think, and he has to go back to his.
Okay.
Who are you with, Rahul? You're with Hannah, right? And Zena, what room were you in?
Actually, I don't know, but I wasn't with nobody. That's why I was trying to call you in because I wasn't with a group. I was just by myself.
Oh, weird. Okay, so yeah, Zoom's acting kind of wonky today. So why don't you go ahead and join Shantae, Ashley, and Avlyn right here. These guys had a room by themselves as well. So we can throw one more. We only have 3 more minutes, but if you just want to share what motivates you with these 3, and then I'll get everybody back in the room here in about 2 minutes.
Okay.
Ashley?
Yeah.
Ashley, yeah, for me, put down contentment.
Okay.
Wait, can you share your screen? Oh my gosh, you're so adorable. I like your lip gloss. Okay, can you share the screen real quick again?
Can you guys see it?
Yeah, contentment. And then for bullet points, bullet point 1. For a picture, put down somebody relaxing, like just relaxing on their like couch or put relaxing at home. Yeah, relaxing at home. Oh, and then use
on a couch.
Yeah, that one's nice too. You don't got no black people?
For real.
Put black woman relaxing on couch.
Maybe you could put meditation.
Black woman relaxing on couch. There we go. There we go. Perfecto. Perfectamundo.
Okay.
And then for bullet points, being at peace.
Okay.
Stress free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then Zena, hurry and go because I think we only have like less than 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what to say. I'm so
Do you have a pet? Do you have a pet?
No.
Oh damn! I was gonna say you could put like your animal motivates you or something.
I have a nephew. He motivates me every day. Like he makes me want to like get up, go to class and stuff like that. Cause I'm just like I want him to know that I could do a lot of shit and you can do a lot of shit too.
Yeah. So put for her, you can put being a role model. Does that fit with what you're saying, Tina?
Yeah, I definitely want to be a role model.
Oh no, put nephew, but I meant bullet point. Ashley, sorry.
Oh. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and bring everybody back to the main room. All right.
Okay.
Ashley, just put put being a role model, and then
I'm gonna stop sharing my screen so that way they can join.
I think that's good though. She can elaborate off of that.
Okay.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. I apologize on behalf of Zoom for doing its own thing today. I don't know what went wrong, but some of you had groups of 2 people. Some of you had groups of 1 person, even though every single group that I made was 3 people. Let everyone go ahead and make their way back in. All right. I know everybody needed more time. That was just, a quick exercise just to get you guys proficient in how things go. Great. So a few more people are still making their way back. All right, I think we're all here. Please go ahead and go back on camera if you're able. Let's do this. We're just gonna spend 5 minutes reporting out. Does anybody feel like their group did a very good job and they want to show off to everybody else how amazing the presentation is? And if so, go ahead and raise your hand. All right, Usman. Who was in your group, Usman?
I had the pleasure of working with the amazing Ricardo.
Awesome. Was the 2 of you in the group?
Yes.
All right, Ricardo, Usman, whoever has the presentation, go ahead and share your screen. And let's hear what motivates the 2 of you. All right, look at this.
So one of our motivations, like we came to a consensus about this. So family is like a big part for both of us. Like we want to be able to provide for our parents, like help them out, and
Awesome.
our siblings, like be role models for our younger siblings, and then be in a position to cooperate, work, or like help, like work with our older siblings to take care of the younger sibling, be role models, and put them in places where they have opportunities that we didn't have or that we couldn't have.
Excellent. Love it. And is this yours, Pablo?
No, Ricardo,
I'm sorry, Ricardo. I just saw Pablo's hand. Ricardo, do you want to unmute yourself and share what your motivation is?
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
So like I was saying, another thing that motivates the both of us is a career. We want to be able to have a stable life, stable income, not, live paycheck to paycheck. We want to be able to move up in whatever career we accomplish. We don't want to be stuck in the same place. Improvement in ourselves and, our job, a brighter future, not just for us, but future families that we have. And that's why more opportunities for our future family. We're not just stuck in, like, something that we both, I'm pretty sure we both experienced, me and Usman. So that's what we agreed on.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and give them a clap. The fonts were clear. The theme was consistent. The only encouragement I would give is the photo of the people working. I would look for an image that does not have the iStock watermark. That website, pexels.com, has a lot of photos of just typing corporate, and you'll see hundreds of photos of people that are free working that you can utilize. Pablo, you had your hand up as well.
Yeah, I would like to present.
Absolutely. Who were your colleagues, Pablo?
My colleague was myself.
You were by yourself?
Yeah.
All right.
Nobody wants to work with me. I don't know why.
Oh, I don't know what it is. They all just we're all intimidated by your PowerPoint skills.
Give me a second.
Not a problem at all. All right. Go ahead and present.
So this is my slide. What motivates? The question was, what motivates you? And my motivation is my family, because they always keep me on my toes to do what I want to do in life. They always support me in anything I do. And my younger siblings mean everything to me because, you know, I want a better future than I had for them.
Yep.
That's it.
And you see yourself one day, you and your family going to the beach, having a nice vacation together.
Yeah.
With all the money that you earn.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. Beautiful. And one of the things I want to compliment Pablo on is, you notice how his animations went from bottom to top. That was great, because if they went from top to bottom, it would have blocked what people were reading. So someone was reading, my motivation is my family, and all of a sudden that comes down, it blocks it. So excellent use of transitions and animations. Let's hear it for Pablo. All right, we got 9 minutes left. First of all, Amadul, can you do me a favor, please? And read the deliverable, which is due, I believe, tonight, I think tonight.
Your manager is facilitating a leadership workshop to people managers in your organization. He has completed his PowerPoint deck, but needs to create a lunchtime slide for the lunch break, which is 45 minutes long. He is about to hop on his flight to head to the training and asks you to email him a lunchtime slide on PowerPoint.
Excellent. Thank you, Amadul. Real quick, let me show you an example of what an A looks like for this deliverable. All right, can you see that, Amadul?
Yes.
This is an example of what an A looks like. I was just messing with this while you all were in breakout, but like this is, you know, like all you need to do. You want to have a picture of some food. You want to say lunch break, big bold letters. I have the borders around the lunch break. Please be back in 45 minutes. This is what I did. One other really cool tool that I really like to utilize for graphics within PowerPoint. Word does not have this, but PowerPoint does. Imagine if I wanted to say, you know what, like I want that color of that of the lunch break. I want to change it up. You can use what's called the eyedropper tool. And now you can like touch, let's say, a piece of that nice like green spinach. Oh, wrong thing I pressed, my fault, guys. I want the text fill. I want the eyedropper. I want that nice green spinach. Let me find a really green piece. That piece looks good. And now I can make it that color. You see, the problem is, like, I don't want to see you guys doing like this. Like, it should not be yellow and, you know, shape fill, blue. Like, that doesn't make sense, right? Like, you want it to look like consistent. You want it to be on theme. Your manager's counting on you to make him look professional. So you want it to look, you know, on point. So please make sure that, you know, everything matches. It's easy to read. Some of you lost points on your ERG flyer because it was hard to read font. So please make sure that, you know, I can look at that and within 2 seconds, I know what this is saying. That's what a successful slide should look like. Ashley says, stellar job. The hunger is real. It does look good. Also, another side note to be really mindful of is when I was doing my previous role, I used to do a lot of facilitations for large tech companies. Like one of my big clients was Salesforce. And we had a picture of a hamburger, and like that was a slide. People got very offended by that were vegetarians. So just like be mindful, like genuinely, like just think like, all right, like what can I do? Like everyone likes to eat a salad. Just put a salad up there. Just be mindful of your audience. All right. We got 6 minutes left. So I got really good news for you guys. The good news is tomorrow, the majority of the time we're going to spend, I'm going to give you the opportunity. Sorry, Bronx life. I'm going to give you the opportunity to just really focus on your presentation. your midterm. Let me just go ahead and share with you guys quick what the rubric is. And keep in mind, this is 25% of your grade. So you really want to make sure that this is dialed in. You don't want to do this in 5 minutes. If you do it in 5 minutes, I don't want to scare anybody, but if you bomb on this, you have a risk of really damaging your grade. I don't want you to damage your grade because you didn't take your time on one assignment. Amadul, can you see that?
Yes.
Thank you. So what you're doing is you're creating what we talked about today in PowerPoint, a 6 to 8 page presentation, slide presentation. Hold on, I'm going to close the window. 1 second. I apologize. Thank you for understanding. All right, so 6-page PowerPoint presentation, 6 to 8 pages on the topic of your choice. Now, it must be work appropriate. Somebody asked me yesterday, can I do a presentation on everything I've learned so far in year up? And that's fine. If that's what you want to do, that's totally good. If you want to do a particular thing that maybe you enjoy, like suppose you're like how to give a great presentation, how to manage your time well, whatever you want to do, it has to be a work appropriate presentation. Yesterday we did the ERG flyer. So you're going to create a flyer inviting people to come hear your presentation. You're going to send out a mass email. We talked about email quite a bit the last 2 weeks, inviting people to your presentation. Remember everything that we discussed. It has to have a subject line. It can't have typos in the body. It has to have a clear call to action. One thing I'm going to actually add to the rubric is a signature as well. You have to have your year up signature. And the very last thing is your calendar invite. You have a calendar marker that has an agenda, a title, and the presentation is 30 minutes long. Listen, there is no reason why anybody in this class should not get 100% on this midterm. There's zero reason. Right there is everything you need to do. You all know how to do this. You've all been well prepared. You get to pick whatever topic you want. So tomorrow what we're going to do is we're going to spend some time talking through this. What I'll probably try to do this afternoon, if my schedule allows, is like create my own example of what one should look like. And then we can walk through it together. And I'm going to give you guys like a full 45-ish minutes or so in class time to just work on it. I'm here to answer questions. I'm here to support you. This is due Sunday at midnight. All right. I'm giving you, a full 3 or 4 days to get this done. Don't want anyone to feel like, oh, I'm just going to knock this out in 5 minutes, because I don't want you to do that. If you knock it out in 5 minutes, you're not going to get a good grade. That's just the reality.
Hi, Eric. We have a few questions.
Sure. Yeah, I'll take questions here. Just 1 second.
Moses.
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, Amadul, thank you. One last thing. I know you can't submit this on Schoology yet. I'm going to open that up today after class, so you can submit it if you're already done with it. That's an opportunity. And some of you are asking, I have a question actually for you. Can someone answer me this? Can you submit multiple submissions on Schoology, or you can only submit one? Anybody know the answer to that?
You can submit multiple.
Only one.
I heard multiple and I heard one. Okay, does anybody know if you can submit multiples or one? Yes.
Multiples.
Okay, multiple. So you can submit multiples. So you can go ahead and submit your PowerPoint, submit your email, submit your calendar invite, submit your flyer. So you can submit them all separately. But you should not be emailing them to me. They should be on Schoology, which I'm going to open up this afternoon. The reason I haven't done it sooner is because I want you to know what I'm looking for and what I'm expecting. All right, 2 minutes. Moses, what do you got?
Oh, no, you already answered my question.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Jaleesa?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
So my question was, the email, are we actually like sending a mass invite, or are we supposed to like just screenshot the part where we're like, where it shows the mass invite, but it's not actually being sent?
Yes, great question. You are not sending an actual email. You just compose the email, screenshot it, upload the screenshot. Yeah, great question.
Thank you.
David?
Yes, for the flyers, some of us use the web browser for Office 365. Do we use Canva again, or is there another way to do it?
You can utilize whatever function is best for you, as long as it follows the rubric, which is, the flyers to be easy to read, catch the eye, appropriate graphics, not pixelated graphics, all of that. Yeah, and to answer, does that answer your question, David?
Yeah,
You
thank
can use whatever you think is better. And Ashley Bafong, you can screenshot the email or calendar invites. That's totally fine. You can also save them as well. If you can't save them in their natural form, you can screenshot them.
Eric.
Yes, Guzman.
Do we put those emails inside of our PowerPoints, or are we sending them out separately?
The easiest way for me to grade would be to do it separate, not inside the PowerPoint. Your PowerPoint should be 6 to 8 slides about your presentation from start to finish. So just really quick, I know we're down to our last minute. Does anybody have any idea? Put in the chat box, like what are you planning on doing your presentation on? Some people might be stumped, like I have no idea what to do my presentation on. And I have to like hop off right after this because I have a meeting literally right now. And that salad made me very hungry for lunch. All right, so my why, LeBron James. So that's not work related. So you have to change that one. Why joined Year Up? Intro to cameras. Russell Westbrook. Yeah, you can't do things that are not work related. It has to be a work related or Year Up related presentation. All right, that's one of the requirements. So as much as I would love to learn about LeBron James and all that good stuff, my favorite band is a Dropkick Murphys, but you guys don't want to hear about the Dropkick Murphys because it's not appropriate for work. Coaching, okay, good. Knitting club, is that gonna be, as long as it's like a work thing, sure. History, I'm not really sure, like a history of a company, that's fine. All right, but we're gonna go ahead. Class is done. If you gotta go. I can stay for like 2 more minutes and answer any questions. See you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
All right, Andre, you have your hand up.
I wanted to do my PowerPoint on intro to cameras. Is that okay?
Intro to what?
Cameras.
Sure. As long as you could like relate to work somehow. So like imagine like you're giving a presentation to a team of photographers that are doing an event at your job.
Okay.
Yep.
I was either gonna do how to write a professional email or how to organize your inbox. Is that fine?
Perfect, Ricardo.
And my other question was for the mass email. Is there a specific amount of people you want in the invitation, or
no? I just want to see that you have the subject line, the body, and your signature, and everything is clear. There's no typos. Clear call to action.
Okay, got it. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Can I do something like Google, Facebook, Instagram, something like that?
Like what? You want to do a presentation on one of those companies?
Yeah, to like say if like hiring or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, you could profile a company. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Eric?
Yes, Natali?
I could do it on like motivation and like working out like that, and like get on your best body shape and like that.
I would do that. You could do that, but you have to like link it to work. So like suppose you're going to start a club to get in shape. Your presentation's on why you should join the club at work.
All right.
So it should be a work related presentation. All right.
Man, I really wanted to show you this PowerPoint too. This is a good PowerPoint on Russell Westbrook, man.
I know. Well, it's said in Schoology, it has to be a work related, presentation. It can't be a personal one.
Because that would have been the easiest for me. That would have been 1, 2, 3.